We're joined by KT McFarland, who served as Deputy National Security Advisor during the Trump administration. KT, as always, thanks for joining us on the program. The United States reporting a third Houthi attack on these commercial ships in as many days. The United States fighting back with retaliatory strikes. Are we officially in that wider regional conflict we've been trying to avoid for 3 months now?
Well, we might be, and I think that within a few days, weeks, months, we could be very much in a wider conflict. And here's why: the Biden administration thinks, well, we don't want to, we don't want to upset Iran. We're going to placate them. We're going to appease them. We're not really going to respond in a retaliatory fashion. We're not really going to take out the, for example, the missile launchers where the missiles are coming from in Yemen. And that's actually not working. I mean, President Biden just admitted it's not working. And my concern is that Iran's proxies, and now Iran, they're continuing to escalate attacks against American facilities, American ships, commercial ships, naval ships. And at some point, the perimeter defense that we're doing, we're not going and attacking the source of the missile launchers in Yemen. We're playing like catch, right? We're catching the missile right before it hits the ship, and that's called perimeter defense. At some point, a missile is going to get through. It's going to sink an American ship. Americans are going to die, and then we are in a bigger regional war.
Yeah, and you hit on the fact that President Biden admitted that these counterattacks are not working. They're not successful in stopping these attacks. Is it time that Congress now gets involved to authorize the president to expand a wider use of military force in Yemen? Are we at that point?
Yeah, Congress can pass resolutions, but it's got to be the decision of the president. He's the commander-in-chief. Congress can't order the military to do anything. It's got to be the commander-in-chief. And if President Biden admits, well, it's not working, but we're going to continue to do it, I think it's time to get a new plan. And the new plan would be to go to the source of these missiles, these missile launchers. And President Biden had an attack about 5 days ago where it was a very limited attack. He pretended that it was a really big attack to go against the missile launchers in Yemen and the facilities in Yemen and the ammunition dumps in Yemen. But it turns out that the administration had warned the Houthis in advance so they could get the people out of there. It turns out they only took out maybe 25, 30% of their capacity. It's time to take out 100% of their capacity. If not, these attacks are coming in increasing frequency and intensity, and they will only continue until, frankly, as you point out, we could be in a bigger regional war. A war we don't want, a war we aren't prepared to fight, and a war that could have won.
My use of the word authorized, probably not correct there with Congress, but maybe time for them to just sound the alarm more vocally in what they need and want the president to do. Meanwhile, as you know, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu throwing a wrench in the Biden administration's plans for a post-war Gaza by insisting he will not support Palestinian statehood moving forward. KT, how does that complicate the situation there on the ground in Gaza?
Not learned anything. When the United States goes in and tells a country, this is the kind of government you should have, we're telling you to do that, whether it's in Iraq, whether it was in Afghanistan, Libya, even going back to Vietnam, it never works. Why don't we let the country itself decide? Why don't we let the people in the region decide? So the two-state solution means that there's a Palestinian state right next to an Israeli state. Now, most of the countries in the Middle East don't want that. The Palestinians don't want that. They say, we don't want Israel at all. We want one state, and it's going to be Palestine, not Israel. And Israel says, well, we don't want that either. So why don't you just let the countries in the region? If the Biden administration is so eager to have diplomacy, then they can convene the meeting. But let the countries in the region solve it. Let the countries in the region pay for it. Let the countries in the region police it. But it should not be the United States yet again trying to Bigfoot a solution that won't work.
I also, lastly, before we let you go, I wanted to take your temperature on the fact that we have seen Iran and Pakistan attack each other here in recent days. How worried should we be at home about a conflict between Iran and a nuclear power like Pakistan?
We always worry about nuclear weapons, but frankly, that's not our fight. It's Pakistan, Iran. They've had problems on that border for a long time. But what it does show, because the attack first came from Iran, they lobbed the first attack, is that Iran is feeling its muscle. And so Iran is attacking Pakistan. Iran's proxies are attacking the United States and allied commercial shipping as well as military. Iran's trying to control freedom of navigation in one of the world's most important trade routes. And just a couple of days ago, Iran attacked facilities in northern Iraq and included in American buildings. So, Iran's feeling pretty, they're fairly cocky, and they're increasing in intensity and frequency of the attacks. And now they're coming from Iran itself, not just from proxies. So it is something we got to watch, and we got to tap it down and reestablish deterrence.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.